Well. Let's talk Kyle freaking Tucker. If you guys enjoy the video and you love the Yankees and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Guys, we're like 150 away. So if you could help us get there, that would be a huge blessing. I would love to get to 20,000 before the end of the year. So listen, Kyle Tucker's name has been thrown around a lot within the past 24 hours. When it comes down to it, if you were going to replace Juan Soto with anybody, Kyle Tucker couldn't be more perfect for that job. Kyle Tucker, in my opinion, not in my opinion, I'm not sure if he was available before this whole Soto thing happened. And then all of a sudden, the Astros GM, Dana Brown, says, hey, anybody's available for the right price, basically. And with the Dana Brown's and Cashman's working relationship together, they made a trade together last year. A minor one, but they made one. They worked together when with other deals when Brown was in other organizations in the past. So there's some familiarity here between the two GMs. Now, what would it take for the New York Yankees to get Kyle Tucker? Well, first things first, it was reported earlier on by Joel Sherman that the Yankees are in hot pursuit for the outfielder. And I think Tucker, you just throw him out there in left field, he'll do fine. But what would it take to go get Tucker? Well, let's look at what the Chicago Cubs are offering for Kyle Tucker, because they're in on him too. The Cubs are offering what we know, Sasaki and Paredes. Now, the Astros value Paredes a bunch. They tried trading for him last year at the deadline. They were outbid by the Cubs. So they really value Paredes. Very much so. Sasaki is a free agent in 2 seasons. So they have 2 years of control with him. And I believe 3 to 4 with Isaac. I'm not entirely sure there. But the Astros seem to really want pitching. They want a corner infielder. Isaac fits that bill for them. Sasaki fits the bill in replacing Tucker, but they really want pitching. Now, if they're talking Sasaki and Paredes, in my opinion, they're trying to stay away from their young pitching, and the Cubs do have some of it. Ben Brown is one of them. I believe he's 24 years old. 5 years of control. Cade Horton, their top pitching prospect, he's another one. But if you're going to throw in one of those starting pitchers alongside Sasaki and Paredes, that's a massive overpay for the Cubs. And who's more likely to sign Tucker to an extension? The Yankees or the Cubs? I think it's the Yankees. What would the Yankees offer be for a Kyle Tucker? Well, it's been reported that the Astros really want Luis Gil. They like Luis Gil. They're very interested in Luis Gil. Now, Gil, reigning Rookie of the Year award winner, has 4 years of control. And he needs to work on his control a bit, right? 77 walks last year, but also a high strikeout guy. I really like Gil. I love Gil, as a matter of fact. I really do. Think he's going to be a really great pitcher in this league. But in my opinion, you need to leverage this momentum that Gil has built for himself. I think you need to cash in on this. And people are saying in other circles that Hal's pissed off. And Hal's ready to have one heck of an offseason, almost like vintage George Steinbrenner. That's something else. So, do the Yankees ever sign anybody to an extension? The answer to that is really no, they don't. But Kyle Tucker, I think, is an exception, and here's why. Last year, you go and you trade for Juan Soto, and what happened this year? A year later, he goes and signs with another team. You were not able to sign him to an extension. It wasn't anything that he was even interested in, quite frankly, but that's because Scott Boras is his agent. What does Kyle Tucker have going for him? What do the Yankees and Kyle Tucker have going for them? Well, Kyle Tucker does not have Scott Boras as his agent, so maybe, just maybe, he would take an extension, like what Mookie Betts did with the Dodgers, like what Lindor did with the Mets. Maybe Tucker takes an extension if he's offered a fair deal, and I think the Yankees can't mess around. Just give him whatever he wants. If he wants $460 for 12, do it. Just give Tucker what he wants. He's 27 years old. He's an exceptional baseball player. He doesn't walk as much as Soto, but that's as close as you're going to get to replacing him. And he's a better defender than Juan Soto. Much better. And he's athletic enough to go and play left field, to move Judge to right, Dominguez in center. Wonderful outfield. I love it. But if you're giving up a guy like Heel, you need to sign Tucker to a contract extension. Obviously, it won't just be Heel for Tucker, though. It's going to be a little more. And the Astros really want a major league ready corner infielder. Ben Rice fits that bill. Nobody's throwing around this name, but I will. Let's throw around Oswald Peraza's name. Maybe you could put him in the deal as well, alongside Ben Rice. Maybe Oswaldo Cabrera instead of Peraza. How about you want to blow them away with an offer that the Astros are going to say, man, we can't refuse this. Cabrera, Heel, Rice, Chase Hampton, one of the Yankees' top starting pitching prospects. 4, Kyle Tucker. I think the Astros accept it. I don't think the Cubs would be willing to do that kind of an overpay for Kyle Tucker. It makes the Cubs, if they were to acquire Tucker, such a better team. But I don't think they would be willing to buck up more than they have to go get Tucker. And also, too, the Astros probably don't want to trade Tucker within the American League, and rightfully so. I wouldn't want to either, especially to the New York Yankees. So the Yankees may have to pay a premium in prospect capital to go and get Tucker. But I think it's worth it. That's the guy that you replace Juan Soto with. It's him. And I don't think Hal Steinbrenner wants to get burned 2 off seasons in a row. So what do? You lock him up. You sign him to an extension. Do what the Dodgers did with Betts. Do what the Mets did with Lindor. Sign him to an extension as soon as you get him. That's my opinion. If anybody can do it, it's the New York Yankees. And if Hal Steinbrenner wants to have an off season like his dad would have, if his dad was upset and angry, this is one hell of a way to do it. Also, too, guess what? Cashman is prepared to meet with Sasaki. Haven't heard that name a lot come up when it came to the New York Yankees and him. But Cashman is saying he's making quite a detailed presentation for Sasaki to influence him to come to the New York Yankees. If you're able to do that, it makes Heel that much more expendable. What do you think the Yankees do? Do you think the Cubs have the better offer? Do you think the Yankees have the better offer? The Astros seem to value starting pitching more, just like everybody else. The Yankees have Heel. The Cubs, in my opinion, don't have that valuable of a starting pitcher to offer to the Astros. And with them starting off the trade talks with Paredes, who is a corner infielder who the Astros have loved in years past, Suzuki, that makes sense too. You replace Tucker with Suzuki. but they're not leading off. They didn't lead off that package with the starter. That's what the Cubs want, and that's what the Yankees have.